All right, so Microsoft Teams, SharePoints, and Power Apps. Um, just like what Keith said, it's just going to be a top-down look at some of these systems. Since we've kind of gone over Teams a little bit before, it's a great communication tool. It allows you to not only do instant messaging with so many other people, but it also allows you to kind of have those nice voice meetings, as well as doing share screen, kind of like what we're doing right now.
I think one of the other things about that that's important to note is that if you're in an organization that's using Skype for Business, Skype for Business is going away this week, never to be seen again. So, that's something to think about. And Teams obviously is taking its place, but when we talk about those communications and the collaboration, Skype for Business app is definitely leaving the planet right now. So something to consider.
But at least it's being replaced with a really powerful tool. So
right.
I'll definitely take this over Skype.
Yeah, no, as a person who's used that before too, Teams is a much more powerful tool.
And then going on to some of the management perspective, it lets you coordinate with your team, know where people are at. It's great for knowing where projects are in the pipeline, not only just with communication, but also you can set up smaller groups to really hone in on whatever projects you're working on, or if you're working in specific areas. Then one of the things that we're kind of looking at getting into here is we can actually integrate Teams from that management perspective to actually go into requesting vacation and scheduling people as well. This is one of the applications I've made where it's actually living in our Teams environment where anyone can go into there to request vacation or to know who else is out of office to kind of get that idea of what's happening there.
It's being able to do that is very handy, especially like when you're managing projects and you're working in a matrixed environment. Being able to have a tool to help you track those vacation days or who's off and those types of things is super handy. Maybe before we dive into that a little bit, Derek, one of the things that we should maybe talk about is kind of from a larger perspective, a little bit of structure. So, and by that I mean that when we think about Teams, we kind of think about that as an app, and that's the way it's presented to the end user community. But really, Teams ends up being a wrapper that's actually wrapped around a foundational SharePoint implementation. Maybe you could expand on that a little bit and just talk about the underlying SharePoint relationship with Teams and what those things mean, and kind of not super wonky, but a little bit on how that interaction maybe works.
Sure. So high level, SharePoint is the backbone of everything that's Teams, Power Apps, almost Office in general at this point. Every team that you make inside of Teams or every channel is actually hosted on its own web page inside of your SharePoint. So what that means is everything that you do in Teams is also being done in SharePoint. It gives you a lot of security because of that, because it allows you to have versioning and backups that way, which is really, really nice feature.